All right, I found a new place to read where I'm not in the sun. Hopefully, it won't be so warm. Chapter 3. The last time Winston participated in a large scale puzzle event, he'd woken up at dawn and spent several hours wandering around his house urging time to go faster. Time refused. Winston had pulled his hair out in frustration as he watched the minutes crawl, crawl, crawl. When Winston opened his eyes on Friday morning, he knew immediately that the same thing was going to happen again. The light in his room was wrong. Instead of being bright summer sun, it was a pale mixture of daylight and darkness. Bracing himself for the worst, he rolled over and looked at the clock. 5:45. Yeesh. All year long, he'd gotten up at 7 o'clock, groaning and wishing for 10 more minutes of sleep. Now, on the first day of summer vacation, he was awake and raring to go before sunrise. There was nothing to be done about it. He was awake like it was noon. Winston got up, wandered around the house. There was nobody to talk to. His parents and sister were still asleep. He flipped through the television channels, but the only things on were news, infomercials, and baby cartoons. On one channel, though, he came across a commercial for Simon's potato chips. He knew it was unlikely to contain any clues for today's event, but he had to stop and watch it. The commercial showed a bunch of young people supposedly at a party, except that everybody was standing around looking bored and glum, and suddenly a guy with a wide smile showed up, holding a bag of new Simon's potato squares, and the party was transformed. Music began thumping. Guest after guest grabbed handfuls of chips, and they were indeed perfectly square. Fueled by this magical new snack food, everyone began dancing and chatting and having fun. Think square, said the guy who had brought the chips, his teeth flashing white as he held up the bag for the camera. Winston turned off the television, amused. Did people really believe this? That a bag of chips would turn a boring party into a New Year's Eve celebration? Winston guessed commercials like this must work at least sometimes, since it seemed like every other ad followed the same script. The commercial gave him an idea, though. He went back to his room, went online to look up information about Dimitri Simon, the founder of Simon's Snack Foods, the guy whose voice they heard on the answering machine. The company website had most of what he wanted to know. A page-marked history showed a big picture of Dimitri Simon's pudgy, smiling, bearded face. Simon had started his company after being fired from 5 jobs in a row. He made the first batches of his now famous potato chips in a pizzeria's kitchen. He started off by selling them to delis and other stores out of the back of his car. People loved them, and he soon had more requests for his chips than he could handle. He borrowed money from everyone he knew and opened a small factory. Now he was one of the richest men in the state. He was also one of the oddest men of the state. Winston learned while searching the net for more information. Simon had more money than he knew what to do with. He gave a lot of it away. Rather than merely writing a check, however, Simon enjoyed attaching the money to crazy stunts. He funded a local museum for a full year, but insisted on an exhibit of potato chip art, whatever that was. He built a playground for a children's hospital, but only after the doctors at various hospitals had competed in some kind of nutty Doctor Olympics with track and field events. The winning team of physicians got the playground, and Dimitri Simon got tons of coverage in newspapers and on television. Would any of this help today? Winston didn't know, but he doubted he and his friends would be handed a bunch of word searches and pencil puzzles. Dimitri Simon enjoyed stunts that were big and goofy. Winston would try to remember not to be surprised by anything. With this guy's money and wacky ideas, anything was possible. Winston looked at the clock again and sighed. 6:05 a.m. He'd killed 20 minutes. He had another full hour before he even needed to get dressed. He wandered the house a while more and finally grabbed a puzzle magazine and stretched out on the sofa. It was going to be a long wait, But at least he had a puzzle to solve in the meantime. Please open your books to this puzzle. I'm going to read the directions while you do that. You can take a 3-letter puzzle piece from each of the 3 columns and read across to make a series of 9-letter words. If you write these words in the order shown below, you'll find an extra phrase reading it down in 2 places. So you're going to take a word part from here, and from here. Now they're not going to be just across. Wis, ache, ack. Not a word. But one word's going to start out with W-I-S. And then you have to find the middle of the word and then the end of a word. And it shows you how many letters are. Of course, there's 9 letters because there's 3 letters in each column. Okay? You have to solve those in that order. And I'll be back later to talk it over with you. Good luck.